Chimera strategy, and that actually was the strategy that took first place after Swiss at YCS Dortmund, and it couldn't really convert from there on. I don't think it made it past top 16 all the way, but maybe this weekend it's time again for the branded strategy. This is not a branded card though. He starts off with the Chimera Fenrir, which is popular, being tagged into so many different decks. I still kind of compare this card to Pancratops. Like Pancratops was being thrown into all kind of decks as well because it's just a generically good interruption card. And this is Pancratops that replaces itself. So why would you not play it?
It replaces itself. It banishes a card face down even, so your opponent is very likely to not ever access it again. However, Pancratops has 200 attack points more.
True, true, true. Tough fight between the two.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the new, new Pancratops, if you like. Everyone's playing it.
For sure,
it's such a cool card. It wears many hats, Fenrir. He goes in everything.
Absolutely. And now we also reveal to Diego what our deck of choice is. Starting it off with the Mirror Swords Knight. Mirror Swords Knight gets us into the Berthamid, and now we also search the Gazelle, of course. Big Wing Berthamid there on the field, and Gazelle in hand. And usually we just, we could normal summon out the Gazelle, but we don't decide to do that here. We are just immediately going with the Chimera Fusion, which we also got. And Chimera Fusion is going to summon ourselves the good old, or not so old, but still very, very powerful Chimera, the king of Phantom Beasts, which will be able... Oh, and now it gets important. Does Chimera, the king of Phantom Beasts, destroy in the hand, or does it discard? Because if it does destroy, that would be pretty crazy, but it does discard in this case. Imagine destroying one Fire King card of your opponent's hand. But yeah, well, it is not. It is not.
Do you remember the first round of
YCS? I do. Was it Aguido or was it Galbag? It was crazy, that's for sure.
That was a lot of fun to watch. Gazelle, by the way, for my fellow fire enjoyers, does not send a Salamand Great Monster from the deck to the graveyard upon summon.
A different Gazelle, I see. There are many Gazelles, actually.
So, interesting, I saw from Fabio here. A lot of players I see special summon the Fenrir and then wait and then do a different search first to play around Drawn Lockbird, because adding another Fenrir is kind of low priority. Do you think there's a reason? Maybe there's just a slightly different sequencing, or do you think he's trying to bait out an Ash or something like that?
Oof, I think ashing the... Oh, there is Nibiru. Before we even get into the end phase, we are going to get rid of the field here, or trying to do that.
You're just counting the summons, Leo.
5 summons already?
So we've had Fenrir, we've had Mirror Sword Knight twice.
All right.
I'm pretty sure it's 5, yeah. It should be 5.
I think if you're Fabio, you're kind of okay with that. I feel like most of the threat of this field is the discard, and then you have the branded, not the branded fusion, the Chimera Fusion to follow up. So I think this is kind of fine.
Yeah, I feel like that's okay too. It's not the best, of course, but still you get a monster which we can also still use for a fusion summon of the Guardian Chimera. So I do agree, it should be all right here. Oh, and still we are going to discard an end phase, of course, because the effect was already activated, and that is going to be one of the cards that tells Fabio that there is a Fire King player sitting across of him, Fire King Avatar Barong, one of the older cards, but there right away is one of the newer cards instead, the continuous spell, the Fire King Sanctuary, and that activates, not searches, no, it just activates Fire King Island from your deck.
Well, just activating it is like even better, isn't it? Because you can't be ashed, you can't be drawled.
Yes, indeed.
And also it has a built-in protection effect for your Fire King Island, because once this card gets destroyed, it destroys all the monsters on your field, which is sometimes not ideal, so you can actually just instead pop one that you want to be popped.
Oh no, I want to destroy all my monsters.
So, and we searched out the Ponix there. We destroyed the Veiler on our hand to get the Ponix, and that is the level 1, the legendary Fire King Ponix that I was talking about, recently added, absolutely mandatory, free of staple and all kind of Fire King strategies, and he got access to it right there.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see these Fire Kings in action. It's great to see like a theme that you saw being played a while ago and get some new cards and really pull it together.
Absolutely.
But I mean, this can't be like the real start that Diego wanted, right? Because he had to search it, he had to destroy his effect Veiler hand, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing you'd rather destroy something that's not effective.
Oh, it was a really good hit.
That looks like Anima. Look at that. Look at that. We can go after the Nibiru token, perfectly place it into the zone that Anima is pointing to. Now attacking with the Anima and the Nibiru. Sadly, though, that Anima is still at 0 attack points. It does not convert the attack points of the Nibiru token there, I'm afraid. So that is not going to be enough to attack for game. I think Diego was really happy there. I think he thought that he's attacking for game there, but that is not the case. Indeed, we cannot check that token's attack there anymore when it reaches the spell and trap zone, and therefore that Anima is only left with 0 attack. We are confirming with the judges, makes sense, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's handled.
Yeah, I'm interested in this because I wouldn't actually know. It's one of those things. It says original attack, and the Nibiru obviously gives the token an original attack and defense, but tokens sometimes can work a little funny, can't they? So
yeah, for sure. The thing is, I had this interaction before, so I'm like, if I wouldn't have had that interaction before, I probably wouldn't know because it's somewhat weird sometimes, as you say. But I had this same scenario occurring to me before. But of course, let's quickly do the judges their job, check and make an educated decision. Rather be double-checked than sorry. And yeah, they are currently doing that. So while they're doing that, why don't we bring it quickly over back to us and talk a little bit more about the Fire King strategy. Thank you so much.
I also love the Labyrinth strategy. You're just throwing away all of the 5 cards you have in your hand on the first turn. You throw them into the graveyard, even on your opponent's turn. You don't care who wins the dice roll. You just set a lot of traps by throwing away monster cards. And then you get them back eventually.
Yeah, it's like a boomerang. They just come back. It's pretty cool, for sure.
It feels so good to activate 1 trap card and just get 3 cards back from your graveyard that have nothing to do with the trap card.
Yeah, and as I was anticipating, we only did 3,000 points of damage. That Anima was still on 0 attack points, and therefore, now in main phase number 2, Fabio is still left with 5,000 life points. And Diego seems a little bit disappointed because his quick plan to end this game very, very, very smoothly and quickly did not work out as planned.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't have searched for the Ponix.
Potentially not, yeah. It just seemed so easy and convenient to do it there, yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure this plan worked anyway because of the Chimera in the graveyard. You can just banish it, summon a monster, defend yourself.
It's true. True. Good point. Good point. Okay, we just went into the SP now, and of course we can now take out some of the resources from the graveyard, and we might go after the Chimera because that would make the Chimera Fusion not be able to return itself to the hand. Yep, therefore we go after it. I like it.
Is it not a quick effect?
It is on the opponent's turn.
Yeah, and it is the opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Which effect are you talking about?
The banish to summon an illusion from your grave?
No, it's a Beast or Fiend or illusion.
Beast, okay.
That's why it's also a really good support card for the Labyrinth deck.
Oh.
Because you can send it with Dogmatica Punishment, and then in the end phase, summon back one of the ladies.
Yeah, but he decided not to do it, right?
I'm kind of confused, yeah. Does SP Little Knight definitely targets, right?
Yeah, it does, for sure. So Patchwork is being activated. So it's back to Fabio now. Fabio's turn, and he only has to overcome that Aspie Little Knight there. I'm saying only. Honestly, it's quite tough to play through this interruption because it's just so good being able to banish 2 cards on the field. But let's see how we can manage to do that. Oh, of course, there's still the Fenrir. We cleared the field again, so Fenrir is ready to be summoned again. And I mean, that's an easy and convenient way to just attack over the SP Little Knight, to be honest.
Do you know what would be great here, Leo, for Fabio?
Cosmic Cyclone.
Better than Cosmic Cyclone. Oh. Mystical Space Typhoon. Because it would destroy the island, which would then destroy the SP Little Knight.
However, wait, let me check the continuous Fire King spell card.
It would have been cool.
Destroy from hand or deck.
Oh, really?
That would be great.
No, you can't. You can't. Not from the deck, at least. But like
hand or face up field, I don't think you have one.
The Fire King Sanctuary would have been cool here because usually this card interacts with your opponent on their turn to exceed summon out Fire King monsters from your extra deck. So that would be Garunix's Eternity Highing of the Fire Kings, which you could summon out on your opponent's turn when they summon out a monster. But currently, there is no monster to exceed summon with anyway, so that is not going to apply here.
Yeah, I feel like oftentimes you read the XYZ monsters or Synchro monsters, you think, okay, that's a cool card. It destroys some of my opponent's cards, and you just kind of assume that you're going to summon it on your turn, and then you have to read the full engine and then realize, oh wait, I can summon this on my opponent's turn and destroy all their monsters? That sounds so much better.
There comes Chimera Fusion, and I think we kind of have to chain the SP here because otherwise we are being met with that Guarding Chimera. Oh, there is impermanence for the SP Little Knight though, and it is resolving, not only negating the SP Little Knight, but also taking care of the left zone there. So the card in the back row for Diego is also affected by this infinite impermanence, trading 2 for 1 here basically.
Yeah, and I think that Diego also set an impermanence there because he actually set it in the zone where there was already a set card. So I think that this comes to backfire Diego now.
Feels like it for sure.
I think that might have been a little bluff from Fabio because the Chimera Fusion was in his hand before, so he didn't set the Chimera Fusion, just the impermanence. So I mean, if it was an infinite impermanence, maybe Diego would have chained it to Fabio's, which would have negated his. So maybe it's the Fire King. I don't know the name of. It's going to destroy lots of cards on either side of the field.
Oh right.
Which one are you?
Fire King Skyburn. That's the one because he added that to his hand.
True, he added that one. That's probably the back row. Yeah, because he doesn't have many more cards in his hand. There's only one more, so it's either the set card or the card in his hand.
And the biggest problem for Diego right now is he does not have access to any Fire King cards. The Barong that was discarded by the Chimera was so important earlier because he would have had access to the Fire King Island plus another Fire King card. Plus multiples. Barong is a searcher. It's incredible. Ooh, would have been so good.
Interestingly enough, we decided to banish VSP Little Knight here with the effect of Kashtira Fenrir. We could have just attacked over VSP Little Knight and then banish something else. Like the Fire King Island looks promising to me, just as an additional resource there on the field. I'm surprised he didn't decide to banish that one.
He's trying to go for a game, I think.
The thing is, aren't we in the battle phase? We should be in the battle phase, right? Because Diego did not activate any kind of monster effects. Also, his life points just lowered.
That is true.
And therefore, the Fenrir could only activate its effect on attack declaration. Now we are in the end phase. We are going to take one card out of Diego's hand once again.
He could possibly have used the Fenrir after the SP Little Knight. Even though
the SP was activated. You're right, you're right. The SP was activated. You are absolutely right. So, back to Diego after getting rid of the circle there. And I think Diego, is he picking up his cards?
The Fire King continuous spell, can it just activate another copy of Island?
No, it's just on activation. Yeah.
Oh, this does not look good. Again, another effect Whaler that is to be destroyed. And now Diego just has to hope that there is somehow a monster effect that Fabio desperately wants to activate because he has this talent in hand. The last resort card for Diego right here. And now let's see what he's going with this. I think he's looking at the Avara.
Yeah, he is. He needs to find a proper way to bait out that Fenrir effect, most likely. Oh yeah, it's Avatar. This could also be an Unchained card, honestly, right? It would perfectly well fit into the theme, just name-wise.
Yeah, and destroy a card in your hand to negate a monster effect. That seems very Unchained.
Yeah, exactly. It all fits with all. Okay, and yes, indeed, the set card is the Surge spell card of the new Fire King strategy. It is the Fire King Skyburn, and Diego is considering to activate it because you can target an equal number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls. So you could just destroy one here, but I mean, that's not even getting you anywhere, right? You get one of the 3 out of the way, but there's still 2 more being ready to attack next turn. Okay, there comes the Skyburn. At least we trigger the Avatar. What does Avatar do on destruction?
Special summons out of the graveyard.
Okay, so we could get back Ponix, man. So that's a way, I guess. That would work.
Does the continuous spell, it prevents, I think it lets you destroy something in your deck rather than, or maybe I've got it wrong.
No, that was the Garunix that destroys from the deck.
Exactly, yeah, that's the Garunix. The Sanctuary is only face up on the field or in the hand.
Ah, so it's if the Fire King Island would be destroyed. Okay.
That extra bit of protection. Sanctuary and Island really just working together, hand in hand. Almost being the same card. Okay, so Diego maybe trying to destroy the Chimera Fusion there, and therefore forcing Fabio to activate it here if he wanted to activate it. And maybe he's also forcing Fabio here into activating a monster effect, therefore making his triple tactic talents live.
Very well played, getting out the interaction of his opponent and getting this chance of a miracle draw to the Pot of Greed into another place, something that can get him out of this sticky situation.
Ooh, and we see that Fabio is also playing the Light Hacks, the Light Hack Sealed Fusion, so that's kind of an indicator of him also being on Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And yep, scrolling through his extra deck, I can confirm there is a Dragoon, but of course we cannot summon that out here. Instead, we bring out Guardian Chimera.
I was going to say, it's doing a great job of like substituting a fusion material for a monster in hand. It's doing a great job of pretending to be a monster in his hand there.
Indeed, indeed. So Fabio, I think he's shaking his head. Maybe he was asked, do you activate the effect of Guardian Chimera? And he's just shaking his head. Why would I? Why would I want to play into the triple tactics talents here? Let's see. He's
got
going
100
to activate
effects.
the effect.
Yeah, I think he's not going to miss all of them, surely.
He's going to activate effects here. Drawing 2 cards.
Draw 2, pop a card, search a card. There's so much going on.
Oh, what are we destroying? We are destroying the Sanctuary.
And the Barong hits the field right here.
Barong looks like he's having a lot of fun. I don't know what he's doing, but he looks like he's having fun doing it. It's like he's doing some sort of fire dance.
Yeah, so Barong would not be able to trigger in the graveyard because it only triggers when a Viking monster is destroyed and not the Sanctuary there. But still, it found its way onto the field here.
It was special summoned by Avatar's effect.
Through the effect of Avatar, exactly, yeah.
The problem with Barong is that Diego has right now is that it does not. It is a search for the deck, but it does not search a card immediately. It gets you a card on the next
It's a little slow, indeed. It is a little slow. But now, Diego just clarifying the game state here, trying to figure out where we're at. And then probably just eagerly waiting to activate that triple tactic talents there to bring him right back into the action, get 2 more cards.
Or is there a world in which you are taking something? I don't think so.
Don't think so either, because you can't really do a whole lot with it. Like, I'm looking at the extra deck, I'm seeing... We already saw the SP Little Knight, which would be okay-ish, yeah, but also not really the greatest ever in this scenario. There's Hita. Is there a fire monster we can take with Hita? Potentially. So maybe if there's a fire monster in the graveyard of Fabio, which I'm not seeing at the moment, we could go Hita into Celine, into Access Code Talker, which would not be the worst idea because we would at least clear the whole field there.
And there's only 5,000 life points on Fabio remaining.
Oh, you're right. So that actually is a legit option there, potentially.
I don't think that there is a fire monster, though.
That's the thing, yeah. I do agree. I don't believe there's a fire monster.
In this made-up scenario, this is a really good play.
Yep. There's a lot of dark monsters in there, but I don't think there's a fire monster either. There's not even a fire monster in the main deck of Fabio, so I can comfortably tell you there is not going to be one in his graveyard right now either.
Oh, he's not playing Ash Blossom.
He's not playing Ash Blossom. Oh, there's Ash Blossom. I'm sorry. There. Okay, yeah. Forget it. But I mean, we did not see him activating Ash Blossom, so I think we're good on this. But yeah, you're right, there's Ash Blossom. It would have been a controversial choice to not include Ash Blossom into your main deck.
That is true.
Okay, so...
Okay, Diego's rolling up his sleeves. Yeah, now we're going to see the triple tactic last resort talents right here. So,
unless there is that Ash Blossom, Fabio's still holding on to a fistful of cards, and he's just drawn 2 more.
Yeah, that's true. So it's not triple tactics thrust, but I think Diego is putting a lot of trust into that draw 2 there, right? Oh, and now finally, Diego is activating it, the quarter century one, which is really, really nice looking. He wants to draw indeed, so no Hita lines whatsoever. What are we getting here? 2 very, very important cards he is picking up here. And you can't really tell from his face whether it's good or bad, but he found a good card there for sure. That's a really good pickup, honestly.
Yes, that is true. Now we're going to see the very famous Diabell Star engine now. This is something that elevates a lot of decks that have level 1 fire-type monsters. And also helps him a lot because he decided to summon back the Barong instead of the Ponix.
Yeah, that's really, really good. It's an incredible pickup there.
5,000 life points for Diego to go. How good is this deck at OTKing? The impermanence that you drew, you do not care about it. It's good that it's nothing that you don't want to discard. Let's just get it over with this card, and we're going to search for the Snake Eye spell.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Diego really blinged out his deck there, right? That's a lot of beautiful cards he's using.
I was going to say, are we activating Fenrir now, perhaps?
Oh, that doesn't even seem too bad, honestly, but looks like we have decided against it.
He picked it up.
Yeah, just for a second, double-checking the effect. It's not a branded card, so you had to make sure what it does.
For a second, I forgot that there was also effects on the side of Fabio. I was so excited about the Fire King cards.
It's easy to do. You just have to make sure you're not doing it when you're playing. You're just watching your opponent being like, yeah, that seems cool. He's like, wait a second. I have a Nibiru. I should have used that at some point.
We are getting rid of the Diabell Star, the Black Witch, for the Snake Eye spell. That probably is just going to get out the Ponix. I don't think there's any other... Oh, never mind. There is another target, and he's going for the other target. And this, indeed, is also a Snake Eyes card. So the spell card now acts as it was intended, as an actual Snake Eyes card. And this is Snake Eye Ash being summoned to the field.
Finally, an Ash activated in
yes,
this game.
There is an Ash, indeed. And this one is kind of interesting because on normal or special summon, you can add one level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand. So even though we did not summon out the Ponix, we might still be able to search it out here through this. Ooh, and the Fenrir is banishing the Barong. Okay.
We're going to try and find some more cards that help us. We're drawing a lot now. This is very nice to see. So Snake Eye Ash is going to probably activate the effect. Oh, we are already having the Ponix in our hand, so I missed that one. Did we normal summon?
We did, yeah. We normal summoned the... what's his name? I can't remember his name. Avatar?
Yeah, we did.
Right.
So now the second effect of Snake Eye Ash is being activated. You can send 2 face-up cards you control to the graveyard, including itself, which we did with the Viking Island as well. And then you can special summon out 1 Snake Eye monster from your deck. And there's a pretty big one, also very recently being released, the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. And he also summons back 2 level 1 monsters now through the effect of Flamberge. And all of a sudden, Diego is back up rolling here.
Yeah, so the Flamberge was immediately destroyed by that Fire King Island. But now we're going to get another copy of Fire King Island. Well, from the continuous spell.
Oh, that looks really good.
Yeah, out of nowhere, Diego is coming back into this. And honestly, I don't know whether I like the timing of Fabio using his Castria Fenrir effect there. That seemed very, very early. He hoped it would shut down the turn of Diego, but he just got started.
Or rather late, because it looked like it would stop the Diabell Star engine from going off. I really would have liked to see it immediately, because there were no cards in Diego's hand. However, we have Ponix and Ash now on Diego's side, and he's going to show us the strength of the Fire King deck now. Coming back, maybe from a really terrible position he was in. We're going to the Linkuriboh first.
Linkuriboh coming.
Is this just an SP play now?
I think he's... Oh, there's dark.
Okay,
there is no fire monster in the graveyard, but there's, of course, plenty of dark monsters. So I think we are still going for the Selene line. I think we are trying to get up to Access Code Talker. So I feel like Diego has victory here in his hands. Another beautiful card coming to the field. It is Selene. And there is enough spell cards in the graveyard, right? Let's double check.
He's got 100.
Yes, okay. We can summon back the witch.
That is not really happening right here. However, does he even have an Alua in the graveyard? I don't think so, right?
But he's still got another. He's got another Chimera in his graveyard.
Okay.
So you can just activate it in the battle phase.
Selene.
This doesn't target, right? So you can still destroy the Chimera.
Also, Chimera is only target protected if there is a regular polymerization in the graveyard.
He added a polymerization. Maybe he hasn't activated it yet.
Destroying the Mirror Swords Knight as well. But is there even another attribute in the graveyard we can use?
No.
It's only light and dark. So, we are not going for it here just yet. I was so hyped. I felt like Diego got it there, but he just goes into the battle phase once again. Last turn, he already fought. He has game there with the Anima. And he was very, 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 very eager to do it here this turn. But again, it doesn't work out. Fabio still with 2,900 life points left there.
Okay, but now I'm really confused, because you have the Sanctuary, right? So you have access to Island. Island is not hard once per turn, meaning that you can use, if you have multiple copies, multiple of those. Oh, I can't read.
Yeah, Island is once per turn.
It's hidden there, because it's like, it says you can only,
Yeah, it's hidden in the card text.
Well, it's after the, it says the first effect that if it's destroyed or leaves the field, then it destroys all of your cards. But then afterwards it says, you can only use one of the effects.
Okay, and that is going to be what we pass it back over to Fabio on. So Diego sitting there also only with 3,500 life points. And there finally is Branded Fusion. I assume that came from the top, so that's a nice pickup there. Sending a quarter-century rare Fawn of Albas. Or I think it's Starlight even. There was no quarter-century version of the card, I think.
To be honest, it was about time that we see a Branded Fusion in the third turn of this game. Diego has had a decent time coming back from this bad position earlier, having no real plays, but now this is looking so good for Fabio.
Oh, Albion the Branded Dragon is being used, and I think now we were talking about it earlier, foreshadowing it, and I think Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is hitting the field here.
Yeah, Fabio's, he's had enough. He's like, enough of this. Branded Fusion. Let's go.
Oh, the super polymerization! Fusing with the access code Talker and probably the Albion by discarding the patchwork. And we should be having enough damage here on the field to attack for game after that.
Almost the Dragoon is just
almost enough, you're right.
Game right here. We're summoning a mud Dragon, and that is not that impressive of a field, but it is enough damage to go for a game, and now Diego packs it up. We know that, but I think that everyone appreciates some good Yu-Gi-Oh! Right here instead of some storytelling about a very interesting judge call.
Okay, Diego this time starting it off with the Sinful Sports package.
And it's just what he wanted.
Yes. Great pun there, Leo.
Again, the same one that I did earlier. Yeah,
it got even better, honestly. I enjoyed it even more this time, not gonna lie. So, we are discarding the Nibiru here for the effect of the Abel Star. And the Witch is, of course, going to set the other card that we are playing in our deck, the original Sinful Sports, Snake Eye.
You were right about the bling of the deck.
Yeah. Right? He's really maxing out rarity-wise there.
That was why we picked him for the feature match, right? We go around, we check. If you've got a full deck of quarter-century rares, you know, that's how we get you.
You're in, yeah. Easy peasy. Okay, and there we see it. Diego really always goes for the Snake Eye Ash first. And I mean, why wouldn't you, right? When you have an option to just search out the Ponix, why would you summon out the Ponix Bear? We can just get it later on as well. Normal summon Ponix gets us the Sanctuary, so this time, not being interrupted by Fabio at all, he has a way easier time showcasing us what the Fire King deck is capable of doing. Fire King Island now also on the field, looking good. Diego was about to send a continuous spell card there, but no, destroying the Ponix for the effect of Island. And what are we getting with that?
It looks like we're going to see Arvata soon. Yes, I'm really excited about this because I don't think that everyone has figured out how to play the Fire Kings yet, so I really want to see what Diego has been cooking up this weekend.
Absolutely, I do agree.
He started out a lot quicker this game, which makes me feel like he's got a much more, optimal hand, because oftentimes, you practice the combos with the good cards and then sometimes you get
this card we have not seen yet, but it's also a new introduction from the structure deck, and it's a Fire King High Avatar Kirin. And that's a very, very powerful card. And it's also free
or is it the Garunix? I think.
Oh, it's tough. Oh, wait.
It is definitely the Garunix.
Yeah, you're right. It is the Garunix. It was looking like the Kirin for me, which is a free off in the deck, but you are absolutely right. This is the Sacred Fire King Garunix instead, which he searched out there. And also, it is only a 2-off only, but still a very, very, very powerful card.
Sometimes you want to draw it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with the Sacred Fire King Garunix is you just search it out, and there was a monster being destroyed, and it immediately is able to trigger, and therefore Garunix made his way to the field by its own effect. But Fabio is like, I want to get rid of some monsters here, not destroying them, but just tributing them through the effect of Nibiru. And that is going to hurt here.
Excuse me, would you take some time out of your combo to look at my rock?
Yep, it's happening. Nibiru resolving. We're currently calculating how many attack and defense points are going to be on that token. Once again, it feels like all of those games here in round number 2 are going to be met with a Nibiru. Because if I saw correctly, there's also a Nibiru in the hand of Diego there.
Yeah. I think counting the attack points always feels like a consolation prize. I don't know if that's the word. The way you're like, yeah, at least this is a lot of attack.
Maybe I'll just get to attack with it next turn.
Hopefully. Very likely.
Now, of course, a fantastic draw here would be Triple Tactics Talent. Can Diego find it again? You resolved it in the last game, almost netting him the win, but no, he draws a third copy of Nibiru because he already discarded one in the beginning with the Diabell Star Witch. But now he's stuck there with 2 Nibirus. And honestly, I'm somewhat surprised by him even being on Nibiru still, because initially, I wouldn't say Nibiru is the greatest card versus Branded Chimera, honestly. It can come up, but it's not really that great.
Yeah, I agree with you. It feels kind of, because some decks have to do a lot of link summoning and so on to get to where they want to be, but the branded monsters and the Chimera monsters are so big and so impactful just straight away. You've already got a couple of searches. You can then activate a fusion spell if you've got one left over. It does feel a little bit not great.
Yeah. Especially after we have seen the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon.
On top of that as well, yeah, you're right, totally. That can just stop the Nibiru indeed. But I mean, there is another pretty impactful hand interaction in the hand of Diego, which is Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And of course, every branded player hates this card because it always gets used on branded fusions. So, but there, first of all, is going to be the normal summon of Gazelle.
The king of mythical claws.
Indeed.
Not the king
And
of mythical beasts.
we are searching out the Chimera Fusion there.
Yeah.
Oh, but we only searched the Chimera Fusion, didn't we?
Yeah, Gazelle only searches one. Baphomet searches two.
Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right. You can decide what you want to search. So, now comes Chimera Fusion, and I think... Was it Guardian Chimera even, right? Wasn't it? No, okay, it was only 2 monsters. Okay.
Well, it
the
was a
actual
nice
chain.
combo there. Well, it's not a combo, but... So, this Chimera only requires 1 Fiend and 1 Beast. So the Gazelle is a Beast, and the Edgem Chain is a Fiend. So you can summon it without needing Baphomet.
That is indeed very right. So there is going to be now the Chimera, the king of Phantom Beasts on the field.
So Diego kind of, in my mind, kind of correctly waiting to either hit that Mirror Sword Knight or to hit the Branded Fusion.
Totally,
but
I
it
agree.
looks like Fabi has achieved quite a lot without it. Maybe
Yeah.
he's just looking at this Ash Blossom saying, should I have used this by now? Like, what's it?
There
why
comes
is it still in my
Cornfield
hand?
Coldle now.
Yeah, that is the big strength of the branded Chimera deck, that you can do a lot without activating the branded fusion.
For sure.
And also, your Baphomet really baits out an Ash Blossom because you can add 2 cards with it. But you can, most of the time, put the chain links so that you cannot get ashed on it.
Yeah, no, it's really nice to have like multiple things to do, each of which requires your opponent to have the Ash Blossom to respond.
Okay, but we are going into the battle phase, so that's good news at least for Diego,
Yeah.
because it means we are going to see him having another turn here, because that is not going to be enough to attack for game just yet.
Yeah, that Nibiru really put a halt on things for Diego, but it doesn't look like Fabio's fully able to capitalize.
Yeah, sometimes you can also like read your opponent a little bit. Diego very quickly discarded the Nibiru for the effect of the Diabellstar, which kind of signalizing over to Fabio that there might be another copy in hand, which in fact was the case. So maybe Fabio picked up on that.
All right, now we're going to see the OG polymerization with the Hex and Nibiru. So let's see what he's going to fusion summon out with this. It is the Albion.
Okay, Albion, and I think this is summon number 4, right? So we cannot even Nibiru here, and then the next summon is going to be the Nibiru. So indeed, as we were anticipating, that is somewhat of a problem. The only scenario that I can see here is Fabio activating like Branded Fusion or Mirror Swords Knight after. That is being ashed, and therefore Fabio responds to the Ash Blossom. Oh,
Okay.
hold on. That is a quick effect, of course. We
That is
can
a
use
Kirin.
the effect of Kirin, which I was mentioning earlier, in our opponent's main phase as well, and we try to get that out of the way before the Dragoons hit the field.
Oh, and he destroyed the Ash from his own hand.
That is definitely illegal. You're not allowed to discard Ash Blossom against the branded Chimera deck.
But it has to be a fire monster, therefore we couldn't go with the Nibiru, and we had to go and get rid of the Ash Blossom instead.
How do you profit from that one now? Because this one only destroys a card on the opposing side if it gets destroyed itself. And how do you do that right now?
That is a very legit question. Let's double read on Fire King, High Avatar Kirin.
Also, is the Albion actually able to summon out a Dragoon? Because I don't know if there's a Dragon monster in the graveyard.
Ooh, good
Albion's the
point.
dragon monster.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're
that
right.
is true.
There's absolutely Albion on the field.
Oh, but we have summoned.
I'm not sure
I'm
what
not
that
sure
is.
what the name.
That's another one of
which I
the
forgot.
another one of the Chimera cards, and
Yeah.
it's Chimera the Illusion Beast.
Oh, that's good. I knew Chimera the Illusion Beast, but I guess maybe I've just not seen it.
Oh wait, no, or is it Baphomet? They look really
that's
similar.
new. Yeah, no, I think it's Baphomet.
It
I
could
think
also
it's
be
the reliever.
Baphomet, or is it Magnum?
No, it's not Magnum.
I don't
It's
think
not
it was Magnum either.
Are you sure?
It pretty certainly was Magnum, yeah. Okay,
I
but,
just
but
saw
where did the card go? Where did the card go, Bo?
I just saw the card highlight and I was immediately thinking, hey, okay, then it's got to be Chimera, but I did that.
You did that.
So, where? It definitely wasn't Magnum, no.
No, just wait.
So, if you destroy a Nibiru token
No, it can't be Magnum. You're right.
with Dragoon, does Dragoon gain the attack?
No, I don't think so.
More token rulings questions. Send them in.
Indeed. Ask your judges at home or in your local store. They will be happy to answer ruling questions because that is what they are Therefore, okay, and now it's just going to be another Chimera. That makes it easier for us because we don't have to figure out which card it was. But it was either the Baphomet or the Chimera, the Illusion Beast, I'm very sure. Okay, now, of course, we are also going to trigger the Graveyard effect of Garunix now, and that will probably be the way to trigger the Kirin, I would assume. Because the Garunix can be used in hand or in the graveyard. And now Diego, all of a sudden, he was holding his hand still for forever, and then all of a sudden he decided now it's time to start, now it's time to go. And please note that there's now 2 level 8 monsters on the field for Diego, meaning he could also use the effect of his continuous spell of the Sanctuary of the Fire King to get out an Exceed monster, and that's not only any Exceed monster, it's Garunix Eternity, which would then destroy the entire field of Fabio, or at least all of his monsters, but currently his field only consists of monsters, so that would be all of his field right now.
This looks like it's gone a bit topsy-turvy for Fabio here. I can't imagine this was his plan to summon an Albion and a second Chimera.
Probably not, yeah. You're right.
I mean, he must have been pretty happy when you just get to attack your opponent. You know, Nibiru sort of ends their turn, you get to summon some monsters, attack them, and then it all looks like it's, not gone according to plan, though.
I don't know if Fabio knows what Garunix Eternity Hyang of the Fire Kings does. And I don't know if he knows that this card exists. So he just knows that his opponent is going to be able to Exceed Summon on his turn if he does anything else. And this is scary.
It is, for sure. When you don't know what's coming, it's even scary. I mean, if you know what it is already a bit scary. But when you have no clue, it's even scarier, for sure. And honestly, I mean, we read this card before the match because we were preparing for a Fire King featured match. But if I wouldn't have done that, maybe I would have not necessarily known that card either. Because
we have an indicator of that on top of the screen. So you always know which round we are in case you have been in and out of the stream. So it's really early, but it's really tough to lose early.
For sure, of course. It will definitely make the rest of your day and the rest of your tournament run a lot harder if you start up by losing. But one of those 2 players will have to deal with that. Let's see whether it is Fabio or Diego. We started with Cornfield Cordial, and look at that. There is the effect, Veil Negation, on the card that would have been searching 2 cards there on the Baphomet.
Is there any way for Fabio to continue? I mean, with a branded fusion or a Chimera fusion, he's going to be very happy.
Looking good for Diego here as Fabio just sets 1 card and passes it over, and Diego is licking his lips. He's ready. He only sees that Baphomet and 1 set card there. He wants to do it now. He wants to win this featured match so badly, and he has the continuous spell again. Let's go. Sanctuary being activated, followed by the Fire King Island.
Sanctuary is such a powerful card. It looks like it's glued to Diego's hand so far. This card has always been there for him, sometimes even without the Fire King.
And finally, we have a good card to destroy with the Fire King Island right away. We are destroying the Ponix, searching out the Garunix.
Does the Ponix, when it's destroyed, it lets you add it back maybe during the next standby phase?
Yes, indeed, indeed.
But I think just being able to destroy any fire monster allows you to search the Garunix and then immediately special summon it, which is what you want to do.
It's exactly what you wanted. Garunix now coming to the field, also destroying from the deck the Kirin. So Garunix is the 1 card that can destroy stuff from your deck, which is so nice. Just destroying card of your deck is really, really good. Okay, we destroy we destroy the. That can be only 1 on the side of Fabio, his last hope right there. And the Ponix is coming back, searching out now also the Fire King Skyburn. It's looking nice for Diego here.
So there can be multiple now, but this deck does not really suffer from there can be only 1 that much, because you have Beasts and Winged Beast and Beast Warriors.
Yeah, I was gonna. It's one of those kind of confusing ones because it looks like they should all be the same type, but actually they're all slightly different.
Yeah, it's just the same attribute.
Yeah, Beasts and they're all kind of like one of the 3 Tri-Brigade types, if you like. Beast, Winged Beast, and Beast Warrior, I think.
Yeah, that's true. So, Ponix on the field, summon an attack position with his mighty 500 attack points.
Oh, that's an angry Ponix, let me tell you.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it would be good enough to at least bring him ahead in life points here after we run over the Baphomet. But we have to be careful with the Baphomet, because Baphomet is also an illusion monster, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's a fiend.
Oh, okay, it's not. Okay, fair enough.
I did not say yes to that.
True, it's one of the Chimera monsters. Oh, but I mean, we can technically Exceed summon on our opponent's turn, turn, but we can also just do it on our own turn in the normal way by overlaying 2 level 8 monsters there, bringing out the Garunix Eternity, Highing of the Fire Kings, destroying the monster. There comes Circle, bring back Kirin, destroying the Exceed monster. Bringing back both monsters from the graveyard, both materials. Diego attacking with all of them. What a quick